Here I am down at the field, coming through my bed spring gate. The year is 2011, and it is the later half of June. Here are 2 rows of onions growing in here, and there are some horseradish plants growing in a hedge here, which will be pretty dense by next year. Here is a row of kale that I transplanted in from the gardens up at the house, where we were going to change part of it into a chicken run. I figured I'd cut it way back and eat the kale and bring it down here instead of letting the chickens just scratch it up. Here are a bed of Indian corn, and here are a few pole beans coming in. Here's a groundnut plant on this black locust branch I'm using for a trellis, and there are a number of groundnuts growing down here around these 2 beds of corn here. Here's more corn. It's an Indian corn. It came to me via Oregon, and it originally was from Chiapas, Mexico, and was dry farmed several years in Sonoma County, where it crossed with a little Hopi Blue. Here's a beach plum, and then it went to Ashland, Oregon. I helped grow it, and I brought some of the seed home with me. Here's another couple bean plants, more of the corn, a couple horseradishes, and a apple tree that's a little less lush looking than it was earlier this spring. Here's a ground cherry, an elderberry. There's another ground cherry back there. Here's a mint and a wild grapevine randomly growing here. Another bed of the corn, more corn. The hazelnut hedge is in the back here. There's one of them. There's another elderberry. Here ahead of me is a nice raised bed that's pretty fertile and looked beautiful as of a couple days ago before we left to go out of town for a couple days. There was beautiful red leaf lettuce in the middle that's been munched straight to the ground. On the outsides there's some carrots that are larger defoliated, which will come back in nice. Here's some black locusts from seed, some scallions coming this way. We have 2 rows of potatoes, corn down the middle, a little chamomile in the middle, and parsley. Here's 2 trenches of asparagus, a purple and a green variety of asparagus. Here are 4 squash hills growing here, and over this way you'll see 4 trenches of potatoes growing in here. Here they are, some of the individual plants. They'll get healed up in probably 3 weeks or so. Here's some more of the corn. Here's some of the beans that got nipped back. They still have some growth nodes on them. They'll probably come back. Oh, there's a corn plant that got munched. Here's one of the more beautiful corns in the field. It's variegated with a little tinge of purple. Also this one. Coming this way we have corn, cucumbers growing. Over here there is these first 2 rows filled with broom corn coming in. And there's some dill in this bed of it, and some little baby basils coming in over here. If I can find one to show you, there's one, a holy basil, I believe. Here's a sunflower row, and there's actually 2 rows of them here, and they were all munched to the ground. There's a stump, another sunflower stump. Here's one of the 2 remaining ones. Got pretty eaten, but I guess that's to be expected when part of your garden fence is merely a rope strung across. But all in all, it's going pretty well down here. The year is 2011. This is what we call the field, and I'm growing this corn for the 7 generations yet to come, and hope that it'll be a blessing to me and the future.